Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel once again. Before proceeding on to today's job notification, I would like to take this time to wish each and every one of you a very happy new year. From last year till date, you guys have been supporting my channel continuously. For that, I'm grateful and thankful to each and every one of you. So without much further ado, let's proceed on to today's video. Today's job notification is on Manipur Public Service Commission (MPSC). This notification was released on 5th of December 2025 and is for the post of Assistant Professor. The total vacancy out is 419 and is for the vacancy position for the discipline of Arts, Humanities, Education, Social Sciences, Language and Physical Education, etc. Now for the starting and closing date for submission of online application is the starting date was from 15th of December 2025 and the last date for online application is 19th of January 2026. And to apply for this vacancy, they will have to visit their official website, that is www.empsconline.gov.in. Now for application fees, the candidates are required to pay an amount of rupees 600, that is for general and OBC candidate. Meanwhile, for SC and ST candidate, they will have to pay an amount of rupees 400. Remember this important point, the payment of examination fee can be made only through online mode. Now we'll discuss the subjects and the total vacancies available for the post of assistant professor. For the post of assistant professor in anthropology, the total vacancy is 7. For assistant professor in biochemistry, the total vacancy is 3. For assistant professor in botany, the total vacancy out is 19. For assistant professor in chemistry, the total vacancy out is 22. For assistant professor in computer science, the total vacancy out is 4. For assistant professor in economics, the total vacancy out is 29. For assistant professor in education, the total vacancy out is 28. For assistant professor in English, the total vacancy out is 49. For assistant professor in geography, the total vacancy out is 34. For assistant professor in geology, the total vacancy out is 4. For assistant professor in Hindi, the total vacancy out is 2. For assistant professor in history, the total vacancy out is 35. For assistant professor in Manipuri, the total vacancy out is 46. For assistant professor in mathematics, the total vacancy out is 36. For assistant professor in Mizo, the total vacancy out is 2. For assistant professor in philosophy, the total vacancy out is 4. For assistant professor in physical education, the total vacancy out is 4. For assistant professor in physics, the total vacancy out is 25. For assistant professor in political science, the total vacancy out is 44. For assistant professor in sociology, the total vacancy out is 1. For assistant professor in statistics, the total vacancy out is 4. For assistant professor in zoology, the total vacancy out is 17. If we sum up all the posts for assistant professor, in total we have 419 posts. Now proceeding on to educational and other qualifications. For the eligibility of assistant professor, it has two options, A or B. For A candidate must hold a master degree with 55 marks or an equivalent grade in a point scale wherever grading system is followed in the concerned subject from an Indian university or an equivalent degree from an accredited foreign university. Besides fulfilling the above qualification, the candidate must have cleared the National Eligibility Test, that is NET, conducted by the UGC or the CSIR, or a similar test aggregated by the UGC like SLET or SET, also in the concerned subject. Now for option B, the candidate must have a PhD degree which has been obtained from a foreign university institution with a ranking among top 500 in the world university ranking at any time. Now proceeding on to eligibility conditions. Firstly, we have the candidate must be a citizen of India. Secondly, we have a candidate must be able to speak Manipuri, Meitei, Lon or any of the tribal dialects of Manipur. Third, we have a candidate must be a permanent resident of Manipur, provided that the candidate whose parent or any of his or her ancestors in his or her direct lineage and were permanent residents of the state with proper documentary proof like enrollment in the electoral roll and birth certificate, then she will also be eligible. Now proceeding on to age limit, the candidate should not be less than 21 years of age and not more than 38 years of age. Age will be calculated till 19th of January 2026. And remember this important point, the upper age limit is relaxable by 5 years for SC and ST candidate and 3 years for OBC candidate and also 10 years for person with disabilities. That is all from today's notification, and also the link to the official notification is also given in my video description below. You guys can go and download it and read the official notification carefully and thoroughly. If you have found this video informative and helpful, do consider subscribing to my channel for future updates, and don't forget to leave a like in this video as well. Thank you for watching the video till the end.